eating couscous on Friday, a labyrinth of 20 markets, and a Moroccan donut called sfenj. This week, we're in Marrakech.
Traveling the world to bring you delicious dishes, tasty beverages, and interesting experiences. This is the Destination Eat Drink podcast on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
I'm Brent Peterson. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink. Destination Eat Drink is for foodies who love to travel and travelers who love to eat. And this week, we're visiting the Red City of Marrakech, Morocco, with Mohamed of Moroccan Food Tour. But first, if you like what I'm doing here at Destination Eat Drink, be sure to rate and review the podcast and give us those 5 stars so other foodie travelers like yourself can find the show. You can also support Destination Eat Drink by purchasing one of my foodie travel guides at buymeacoffee.com/Destination Eat Drink. Just click on the Extras tab and check out the foodie guides to cities like Seville, Lisbon, Milan, and many, many more. They're only $2.99 to $5.99, and I go over the best things to eat and drink that I've found in all of these places, plus the coolest things to do. And your support helps Destination Eat Drink. Thank you very, very much. Mohamed Benmokhtar is a photographer and foodie travel guide in Morocco. His company, Moroccan Food Tours, takes curious visitors to see the most exciting things his country has to offer in cities like Marrakech, Fez, Rabat, Tangier, and Casablanca. On this episode, Mohamed and I talk about the markets of Marrakech, including the spice market, where you can find dozens of different takes on the iconic Ras El Hanout spice. We also talk about the other markets like the produce market, the olive market, and the lantern market. Plus, Mohamed tells me about his favorite dishes to make at home, Morocco's famous tangine, and a delicious local soup. Okay, I'm starving, so let's eat.
Destination Eat Drink.
Mohamed from MoroccanFoodTour.com. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink. Looking forward to talking about the great city of Marrakech today.
You're most welcome. I'm pleased actually to be part of this wonderful podcast. I really love the work that you're doing, and let's rock and roll it.
Let's rock and roll. Absolutely. I think, first we need to tell folks where Marrakech is. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, my only reference for Marrakech was a rock song called Marrakech Express, and I didn't know what it meant or anything. That's going way back. But we're on the where you are in Marrakech. You're on the western coast of Africa. Anything else you'd like to tell folks about Marrakech, just to give them an idea of what we're talking about today?
Marrakech, of course, is one of the most famous cities in the Kingdom of Morocco. Of course, we are in North Africa, and Marrakech will be literally where the center of, it's in the center of the map of Morocco as a country. As I said, it is one of the famous cities in the country. It's the most known one. It's the most visited one, also in terms of tourists. And it is beautiful, known by also the Red City. And of course, it has all sorts of different attractions as well as great food, around town.
The Red City. Why is it called the Red City? Is it because the color of the buildings?
Yes, exactly. Like when you are touring around the city of Marrakech, you will witness that the whole city is like this terracotta, pinkish, reddish color. And that's due to the back in the days where we didn't have any new paint technology. People used the soil that was available. That was what make the siding of the buildings back in the days, and it kept as a tradition even now that we have all the new building materials and stuff.
We're here in Portugal, and a lot of folks go to Morocco, Marrakech specifically, on vacation because you can get really cheap flights from Lisbon to Marrakech.
Yes.
They all come back and they talk about the markets in Marrakech. And, you go to cities and maybe they have one big market. You guys have tons of markets. Let's talk about them a little bit. Which one would you like to start with, Mohammed?
Well, technically, most of the markets are located in the old town of Marrakech. And the old town of Marrakech is this big maze, like a true labyrinth, with, you know, like about 20 markets, all located in the old town. And those markets are like historical markets. They had been around since the like 12th, 13th century. And of course, yeah, things now have changed, of course, and evolved with time. But back in the days, they used to be like categorized or like specialized markets within the Medina. We refer to the old town by the Medina. Like within the Medina, they were like, each category of crafts will be located in like one street or like one part of the town. And of course, now those names are still exist. You will hear always the leather crafts market, or like the lanterns market, or the spice market. The names are still the same, although, now shops are somewhat different, and they, offer different things, all across the old town.
You mentioned they call one of them the spices market. And of course, as a food podcast, I'm always interested in things like spices, especially when we're in a cool place like Marrakech, Morocco.
Yeah.
Tell me about the spice market. What would we find there? What should we look for specifically?
Well, I would say everything comes to the spice word. Well, of course, there is the local spices, like things that you will find in our cuisine. Like I would say, some of the famous ones like the cinnamon, the cumin, the all sorts of peppers, the white pepper, the black pepper, the ginger, the turmeric. Those are the spices that we use like casually in our cuisine. And, you can go even deeper and find like some of the, some of the rare, spices, like, for example, the nutmeg and the nutmeg flower. Yeah. And of course, some of our, like famous, spice blends, like Ras El Hanout, and just Ras El Hanout, for example. If I want to go, if I want to dive deep in Ras Al Hanout, like every shop owner will have his own recipe of Ras Al Hanout. When I say Ras Al Hanout, it will be equivalent to like a masala or like a curry. So it's a spice blend. And every shop owner will have its own different recipe, and he will brag about it. You have also the different other spices like the saffron, like the orange blossom water, rose water, you name it. Like, yeah, as I said, everything.
I would have to think, at least for me, if I go to Marrakech, the thing that I would do is I'd want to get some of these spices and bring them home with me. It would seem like this would be a great souvenir and maybe even a great
Yep.
gift for friends to bring back. Do a lot of folks do this who come and visit you and say, "Oh man,
Oh,
I got to
yes.
bring this back"?
Oh, yes, yes, of course, of course. Like when you come here and you taste some of the cuisine, I know like all the listeners or the audience of the podcast are like true foodies. So yeah, as soon as they taste the food in here, like the first idea that come in mind, I need to take some of this taste with me back home. So yeah, ideally is the spice blends. It's like ideally, yeah, it's those little souvenirs, spice blends, and things that you find in the spice market.
You also mentioned, Mohammed, something called a lantern market. I don't know what this is. I know what a lantern is. Is that exactly
Yeah.
what the market is? It's like these lamps or something?
Yes, exactly. Like there is a whole section of the market that is like all the shops. They sell mainly those, lanterns made out of brass, or copper, or like silver coated, uh, things like that. And it's a very Instagrammable market, if you want to say so. Yeah, there is a lot of folks that goes there mainly to take pictures, because like our company, besides the food tours, we do offer also some of the photography tours and whatnot. So yeah, we take people that are interested in those types of pictures to those markets as well.
So I'm going to need a bigger suitcase because, I mean, the spices I could fit in my backpack, but the lanterns, I'm going to need a pretty big suitcase to bring those back to Portugal, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
was reading about something called the olives market. And of course, olives
Oh
are
yes.
very important to the culture and the cuisine of Morocco and Marrakech. But
Yep.
tell me about going there because I love olives. We grow great olives here in Portugal. I love
Yes.
getting olives oil when we visit Spain. But tell me about the
Yep.
olives in Morocco.
Well, it's I would say very similar to Portugal and Spain. The culture of olives, of course, we're talking about like Mediterranean climates. So of course we can grow olives like all across the country, like even in the driest areas of the country. Yes, of course we can grow olives and we can make olive oil. And the thing about the Moroccan olive oil, as you mentioned, like also that's a thing also in Spain and Portugal. Uh, it- each region will have like a different flavor profile of the olive oil. Of course, depends on the soil, depends on the elevation, and all of those things. And of course, we have many different ways to prepare the olives. There are fermented olives, there are pickled olives, and there are like many different spices that goes also into the olives. So our olives, you can find the one mixed with the harissa, which is like our chili
Mm.
paste. So hot olives. There's the ones with like the garlic and coriander and parsley. There is the one with thyme and or thyme and oregano. So yeah, we have like many different spice blends that goes with the olives, and yeah, we love our olives. Technically, it's in every meal. Yeah, you have black olives with breakfast. So we have like olives as side dishes with lunch, and yeah.
In our city, we have a little organic market every Saturday morning. And one of the vendors, they always have this giant tub of olives. So I am
Uh,
getting every week, I'm getting fresh olives because I love her blend. She has all different kinds of olives, all different
uh,
varietals. But then she's got the orange peel in there and the fresh oregano in there and all the different
yeah,
spices that just makes it
yeah,
that much more exciting. You know, you get the crispy olive taste, the briny olive taste, and then you get all these other
yeah.
spices to go with it. It's really extraordinary, and I love it. I can't wait to try some olives when we come to Marrakech someday.
Yeah, and when you come to Marrakesh, talking about that specific olives market, it's very picturesque, man. Like all the shops have a beautiful display, and of course, yeah, it's for olives lover, it's a heaven.
Awesome. What about other kinds of produce? I'm thinking specifically like fruits and vegetables. What kind of stuff would we find? And, you take people on tours all the time. What do folks
Yep.
that are not from Morocco, what do they say to you? They think, oh, wow, I've never seen that before, or I've never tasted anything like that before. What do they find surprising?
Well, we have yeah, many different fresh produce. Morocco, of course, is I would say a resourceful country when it comes to water and agriculture, so we can grow all sorts of different stuff. Um, we have our tomatoes, like some of the different shapes of tomatoes. We have some of the seasonal produce, like the okra, for example. We have also some of the seasonal fruits, like loquat, which
Mm.
is like yeah, loquat. It's the origin, I believe, of the fruit is Japanese, but yeah, it can grow here also in Morocco.
We call them Nespera here in Portugal. And there's a tree
Yes,
right outside our building that I tend to steal
yes, I saw
Nesperas from.
exactly. Yeah, when I was in Portugal just this summer, I saw a bunch of trees of loquats in there. Yep. And yeah, we have apricots, we have peach. Now I'm thinking like because I just gave a tour yesterday, and I'm just rewinding the images in my brain. Yeah, well, there is the nectarines as well. The oranges started to appear in the market, and soon we will have mandarins as well. One of the questions that always come up from tourists is when they see our sunchokes. It's it's similar to a potato, I would say. The taste will be a mixture between a turnip and a potato, but the shape of it looks like a ginger. I don't know if I painted the image correctly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for folks that knows what a sunchoke is, they probably understood what I'm talking about. But most of our tourists are from like North America or from England. So when they see like those, you know, uh, vegetables that they never seen before, they always ask, "What's in this?" We have also another one which is also in season right now. It's the cordons. It's a vegetable from like the
Oh,
artichokes
it's like an
family.
artichoke. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cardoon. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Cardon. Yep.
And how do you prepare that? What kind of dishes do you use that in?
Of course, it goes in a tagine.
Yes.
Yeah, well, our national dish is the tagine, but as you may know, the tagine is the name of the pot. And we have like an endless amount of recipes. So, yeah, when it's the season of cardons, they go with lamb in a tagine.
And so I would assume that every family in Morocco has at least one tangine in their home, right?
As you
That
said, at least one.
at least one that they use all the time. Um,
Yeah.
and Mohammed, in your house, who does most of the cooking?
I will be confident and say that it's me.
Okay. And
uh,
what's your favorite
yeah,
thing to make?
I love fish. I am a big fish lover. I love everything fish and seafood. So, like my favorite thing to make will be like fish with sharmoula baked in the oven. Any white fish. It can be like a sea bream, it can be like a corbean, it can be like dorade. What's dorade? That should be sea bass, I believe, in English. Um, I prepare sharmoula. Sharmoula is also a spice marinade. It has parsley, coriander, paprika, cumin, garlic, olive oil, lemon juice, and you can add twists like the oregano, thyme, like whatever other fresh or dried herbs available. And yeah, you just butterfly the fish and put the sharmoula inside, outside, cut some tomatoes and some peppers, and just lay down the fish with the vegetables and throw it in the oven. That will be my casual fish preparation. Uh, of course, yeah, there is other things that I love making with fish, like the fish pastilla. Sometimes it's just like noodles with shrimps or whatever. Not necessarily Moroccan, but yeah,
Hmm, hmm.
you got the idea.
It all sounds very fresh and seasonal to me. Um, and you
Yep.
mentioned that when you're baking the fish, you're doing that in the oven. Are there any fish recipes that you like to make that you make in the tangine?
Oh, it's the same. You can just throw it in the oven or put it in the tagine. It's yeah, the sharmoula will remain the same. It's yeah, and in the tagine it cooks as well. It's just sometimes the size of the fish with the size of the tagine that doesn't match. That's why it's practical to put it in the in the oven.
Can't be
But
hanging
yes,
over
sometimes I
the
get
edge, I
like
guess.
exactly. Sometimes I get those like medium-sized or small-sized sea breams, red sea breams precisely. Those goes very very good in a tagine.
You mentioned that you do a photography tour as well as your food tour. What's the photography
Yep.
tour like? It must be amazing because whenever I see these videos on YouTube about Marrakesh, I'm just like, it just looks so stunning and amazing on the screen.
Yep.
So I think it's a great idea to do a photography tour. What kinds of things do you like to photograph, and what do your guests enjoy seeing?
Well, I have a photography background. Of course, I've been a professional photographer for years. I still enjoy, the process of taking, pictures and sharing pictures and sharing like the photography craft with people. Uh, and like if as you mentioned, like Morocco is very colorful. There is a lot of contrast to show, and the Medina of Marrakesh. It's, as I said, it's like a maze of those like narrow streets and alleyways. So it makes a great opportunity of lights and contrasts, and that makes, of course, a great opportunity for pictures. And in our photography tours, actually, it's all of this. And again, the photography tours are very customizable because each photographer will have like a different interest in a different vision. Some of the photographers like street photography. Some of the photographers, they come for food. Some of the photographers, they come for, they look for, models to shoot. So it's very, different. But like I would say Marrakesh is those places like wherever you point your camera, it's
Hmm.
gonna be a good picture.
Okay. I like it. Let's talk about a few of the specific dishes from Marrakesh
Mhm.
and from Morocco, because I know when I go to a Moroccan restaurant, one of the things that I always look for is the couscous, one of my favorite dishes.
Mhm.
And because you can get it so many different ways, depending on what vegetables are in season, what kinds of things that they
Yep.
have. Talk
Yep.
a little bit about the idea of couscous in Marrakesh.
Now, when you go to a Moroccan restaurant, you will find mainly like the couscous with the vegetables, and of course meat or chicken, like beef or chicken. That's like the famous ones. We call it the couscous with seven vegetables. We just don't mention the meat. I don't know why.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's couscous. I will have like the couscous as a base, like this, the couscous pearls will be the base of the dish, and then we top it with meat. It can be chicken, as I said, or beef, and with vegetables. Vegetables are mainly the carrots, zucchini, pumpkin, turnip, chickpeas, cabbage, um, potato also can be thrown in there. But the idea of the couscous, actually, the couscous is a very, very ancient dish in Morocco. Like I did, of course, research since I am a foodie tour guide. And of course, I love and I'm very passionate about like our food history as well. And I found that the couscous was mentioned in a cookbook dating all the way back from the 12th century.
Wow.
And still until today, like if you go to some of the deep villages in the high Atlas Mountains, you will find that the couscous is still eaten every day uh, in many families and in many tribes. Of course, in the cities, it's not the case. It's something that we will have once a week, technically on Fridays. That's the couscous day in cities. But in some tribes or in some, villages, it's still something that is consumed every day. And it's a very versatile as a dish. As I said, the base will be the couscous pearls or the semolina, and you top it with whatever thing available in season or in the region during that given time. Yeah, so there is also multiple versions of the couscous. But as I said, the one that you will find in restaurants menu is the very famous one, is the couscous with seven vegetables.
You said the couscous is mostly consumed on Fridays in the cities. Is there a specific
Yep.
reason for that?
It's just a tradition that,
Okay.
grew up. Well, the theory says that in many cities, markets will be on Saturdays. So
Okay.
Friday will be like the decluttering,
Yeah.
consuming everything that you have
What we call clean out the
before
fridge
the
day.
market day. Exactly, exactly. So that's the idea of a couscous. That's in theory, that's why couscous is consumed on Friday. And also, since it's a Muslim country, a typical Friday will be, go into the hammam in the morning, have like your own bath, dress up, go to the mosque because Friday's prayer is the most important prayer of the week. And you will have like a family gathering around the couscous right after the prayer. That's like a typical conservative family Friday, I would say.
Gotcha. Another dish I wanted to ask you about is called, and pardon my pronunciation, harira,
Hmm.
which is like
Yes.
a soup that I'm not familiar with.
Yep.
So, what can you tell me about that one, Mohammed?
So the harira actually is, well, there is many occasions that we love to have harira. I would say the famous top of mind occasion where when we have harira is during Ramadan. Ramadan is the holy month. Of course, Muslims fast from dawn to sunset, and we like to break our fasts with dates and harira. The harira is like a tomato-based soup. Uh, so if you want to go quick over the recipe, you grate some tomatoes. You make like a sort of tomato sauce. You add the celery, the paprika, black pepper, salt, and whatnot. And then you add like whatever legumes you have, mainly chickpeas, lentils. Yeah, those are like the most common ones. And you thicken it usually with water and flour. You can add pieces of meat to it. You can add like some eggs to it, like a poached egg style to it. So it's like a very hearty um, soup. And since it's tomato based, and you add also a little bit of like a squeeze of lemon or some vinegar on it, it has a little bit of a sour taste. That's
Mm.
why we like to pair it with something sweet, usually. So the dates, and we have this famous sweet cookie that goes with it, also called shbekia. Uh, so yeah, that's the concept of the harira. It's in Ramadan. It's an everyday soup. That's how we like to break our fasts.
Love the soups with the lentils and the chickpeas. Okay, so we've had our soup, we've had our tangine, we've had our couscous,
Yeah.
and now it's time for a safenge. Is that how you say the donut? The safenge?
Sphinge, yes.
Sfenge.
Sphinge, yes.
Sfenge.
Exactly.
Tell
Yeah.
me about this because sweets are now we're in my ballpark. This is where I want to live. So when I was 15 years old, I worked in a donut shop. So that gives you an idea as to
Oh, yeah.
where my brain's at. Tell me about the sfenge.
Well, yeah, sphinge actually is our version of donuts. Sphinge literally translates to sponge. That's the like translation.
Makes sense.
Uh, yeah, so it's like a sponge. It's a fried dough. And yeah, sphinge actually is a thing that we like. Usually, some people do like it in the morning as a breakfast thing, as a breakfast item, and some people likes to have it. The more common thing is to have it in the afternoon tea time. Some people like just to dump it in like granulated sugar and have it with mint tea because there is no sphinge with no mint tea. You have to have it with mint tea.
Okay.
Yeah. So sweet mint tea with sphinge. Some people, as I said, like just to like throw some granulated sugar on top of it, or you can have it also with like any of the spreadables, honey, jam. We have amilo. Amilo is our version of peanut butter. Technically, it's not peanuts; it's almond butter. It's almonds, roasted almonds paste, mixed with argan oil and honey. So usually when we sit around like the teapot, and we would have sphinge around, you would have like few little like those small dishes with the one with honey, one with jam, one with the amilo, and you just tear out the sphinge with your hand, and do little dips in one of those sides.
Make your own donut topping or filling, like just like going
Exactly.
to a donut shop in the US, but you do it yourself. I like it.
Yeah, it's very different than like the donut concept in the US, I would say. Like you tear apart with your hand the sphinge and you do little dips. You dip into the little bowl of amilo or jam. You don't do the topping like the US donuts.
Yeah, like a chocolate frosted donut. You're not going to find that. You're not going to find a chocolate frosted sphinge. I like it. I like this ceremony of this idea.
Exactly. It's very ceremonial, as you said. Yeah.
Well, Mohamed from Moroccan Food Tour, this has been a eye-opening and enchanting conversation with you. If folks want to reach you at Moroccan Food Tour, they can do so at moroccanfoodtour.com. I would highly recommend they do so when they come to Marrakech to see you. And of course, when you come to Portugal next time, drop me a line. We'll go and we'll enjoy some great Portuguese food as well. Thank you so much for being here. This has been great.
It's been such a pleasure talking to you, Brett. And let's do more. Why not?
I think we should. Talk about some of the other cities in Morocco, and we're going to have to do that again sometime. So again,
of course,
thanks a lot, and I'll have to have you back to talk about Casablanca and Fez and all these.
Rabat.
Yeah, Rabat, all these cool places.
Yeah, for sure. It was good talking to you, man. And I guess see you next time.
Okay, that's Mohamed from Moroccan Food Tour. You can reach him at moroccanfoodtour.com. And like I said at the top, he has food tours all over his interesting country. Can't wait to talk to Mohamed some more about Morocco. And I've also posted several ebooks at Buy Me a Coffee, Seville, Cordoba, Lisbon, Sintra, many, many, many others. Foodie travel guides are available by clicking on the Extras tab at buymeacoffee.com/destination eat drink. They cover all the best dishes and drinks to try and places to get them, as well as the coolest things to do. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, we are in Naples, Italy, birthplace of pizza, for unique pizza shapes and teaching the baby to love pizza. It's an international pizza contest in Naples. Don't miss that. Until then, get over to destinationeatdrink.com. I just posted a complete foodie travel guide to the Portuguese city of Mafra. Sure, there's a famous palace there, but there's also some great food. Read about it at destinationeatdrink.com. Click on the Portugal Destinations link. I also just posted a new video. This one is about the best markets in Lisbon. There's exciting organic markets where I get king oyster mushrooms, a market where they squeeze fresh sugarcane juice, and a market where I have sparkling wine for breakfast. You can see that on my YouTube channel at Destination Eat Drink 946, or just click on the video tab at destinationeatdrink.com. Destination Eat Drink is distributed by the Radio Misfits Podcast Network and Ed Silla. Thanks, Ed. I'm Brent Peterson. I'll see you down the road.
Join us next week for another culinary adventure on Destination Eat Drink, a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.